All right, so if you guys are bored or confused or you really don't know what's going on in Classic, I think it's because you're not playing Classic how Blizzard intends for you to play Classic. And I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit in a walk and talk here. So without further ado, we're not going to stretch this intro out. Let's dive in. All right, so I'm logged into one of my characters here in Howling Fjord. This is my warlock from the Burning Crusade. He's level 70. He's just hanging out exactly how he was at the end of the Burning Crusade. Now, when I say that you're not playing Classic like Blizzard intends for you to play Classic, I want you guys to hear me out and be open-minded with this. If we look back at the past 6 years, what has happened, right? We got the launch of Classic, the 2019 launch. Then we got Burning Crusade. Then we got Wrath. Then we got Cataclysm. Then we got, we got Hardcore. Then we got Anniversary Realms for Vanilla and Hardcore. We have seasons going on throughout this time, right? We had Season of Mastery. We have Season of Discovery, which is now in its last or almost last phase, right? So basically what Blizzard has done is create a never-ending loop ecosystem of classic WoW. Right? They saw the reception in 2019, how badly people actually did want to play Classic WoW, and they gave us just that. We have so many versions of Classic to play, and it's pretty daunting for new players trying to jump in for the first time, and I know that's kind of crazy for a lot of you to hear that there are new players jumping in for the first time, but there are, and I've met a lot of them. There's players out there who this is their first time ever playing World of Warcraft in the history of World of Warcraft. The first time they're playing it is in 2025, okay? So what Blizzard has done is actually genius, right? There is a version of Classic WoW for everybody. And if we look at the way that they went forward with the anniversary servers, right? Just a few servers, nothing crazy. It seems to be the way that they're going to be shifting this going forward. Now that raises some speculation. Are they going to maybe condense servers for the MOP release? Are they going to start bringing that down to just a few servers? Because in doing this, in every version having just a few servers, they create an ecosystem where all of these versions of Classic can coexist in a healthy way, right? If there's only a couple of servers, maybe one PvE, one PvP servers using the new layering system, then really what's happening, right? No version of Classic will ever be dead. And that's a good thing. That means that you can pretty much play any version of Classic that you want. We're going to walk up this way, actually. Let's go explore up here. You can play any version of Classic that you want, and it will always be alive because there's only a few servers. So it takes maybe just 20, 30,000 players on that version of Classic to make the game feel alive and great. And like I said, this is brilliant from the perspective of Blizzard, and it's great for the player base too, right? You get any version that you want to play. If you want to go from Season of Discovery, which is ending, and go check out MOP when that launches in a couple of months, you can do that. If you want to stay and play like true vanilla World of Warcraft, you're going to probably go play Hardcore for a nice little challenge and a world that feels dangerous and alive. If you want to play the way that it was in 2019 and run GDKPs and do all that stuff, you have Classic Era. If you want to play on another progressive vanilla realm, anniversary servers, Night Slayer and Dreamsight, stuff like that, and move into the Burning Crusade at the end of the year, you also have that option, and GDKPs are banned on those servers. So we really have a lot of Classic, right? Classic has been rammed down our throats for the last 6 years. The second that Blizzard saw, hey, wow, they do actually want this, they gave it to us, and they gave it to us good, right? But I think what's happening is this is causing a rift. It's dividing the player base so much, right? We have our retail player. We used to have our retail players and our Classic players. Now we have our retail players, we have our Classic Hardcore players, as players who only play Hardcore. We have our Classic Era players who only want to play that Classic Era untouched version of how it ended in 2019 and run GDKPs. Then we have our Classic Anniversary Fresh players that want to play Fresh. They're looking to go into TBC at the end of the year. We have them, and we have our Season of Discovery players. Now, what's happened is, within the Classic player base, this has kind of created little subdivisions, subgroups of Classic players that no longer agree on everything, which could be a problem moving forward, and we're going to get into that. But right now, we're going to focus on the pros of this. The pros of this are that all of these versions of Classic have their dedicated fan base, even dating back to the Classic era 2019 servers, where people are just, you know, in full Nax bis, running GDKPs, living out their glory days in Azeroth. I get it. It makes sense. Everyone has what they want at this point, pretty much. So, it's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. We're going to get into the cons in a few minutes, but for anyone who clicked on this video wondering where to start, what should they do if they want to get into Classic for the first time, I'll give a very quick breakdown on what each version is good at and what each version shines at, and you know, depending on how you want to play, which version you should play, right? So, starting with Hardcore. Hardcore is Classic WoW with a bit of a challenge. You have one life. It's set in the vanilla universe. That's it. You go again when you die, or you transfer your character over to a PvE realm and keep playing them, but you are no longer a hardcore character. You have the anniversary fresh realms, right? We have Nightslayer, Dream Scythe, whatever other realms they came out with. This launched in November of last year, so it's been live for about 6-ish months, and these servers will be progressing into the Burning Crusade at the end of the year. On these servers, there's a lot of people leveling, there's a lot of people boosting, there's a lot of people, you know, selling Hodge, there's people ranking, you know, if you want to rank to 14, there's no decay, so it's just a time sink. It requires 0 effort on your part other than just sitting at your computer doing Alterac Valley. You can do that and then move into the Burning Crusade at the end of the year. You have Season of Discovery, which is in its later phases or end phase. There's been some new content there, such as the Scarlet Enclave raid, the Karazhan Crypts dungeon. Classes are play more similarly to how they play in like Cataclysm / MOP, but it's set in the vanilla universe with very fast leveling. It's more endgame focused. You have so many options, and then you have Cataclysm Classic, which is what we're on currently right now, just walking, which will be moving into Mists of Pandaria in the next couple of months. This is a style of Classic that's more focused around the end game, similar to Season of Discovery. The classes are very fast-paced. The raids can be easy or difficult, depending on the difficulty level you choose. There are ways to change the difficulty in Progressive Classic, which is Cataclysm moving into MOP. That's what I'm going to be referring to it as. You know, you'll have your Raid Finder tier raid, which is super easy. You just queue for it. You'll have your normal. You'll have your 25. You'll have your normal, your heroic, and your 10 and 25. Sorry. So there's so much Classic. Very good. Many choices. Classic players rejoice. You have everything you could ever want. But what's happened is it's caused a rift where, like I said before, it's created subgroups of Classic players. We are no longer Classic players and retail players. We are retail players, Classic players, hardcore players, Cata Mop enjoyers, SOD enjoyers, Anniversary Fresh enjoyers, and Era enjoyers. Now, what I think is the issue here is that when you have too many options to choose from, suddenly none of the options are the best, right? That is what's happening. So people on Era hate the people who are playing on Anniversary. People who are playing on Anniversary think it's stupid to play on Era. People who are playing on Season of Discovery hate Anniversary and hate Progressive Classic that's moving into MOP. It's creating way too much division and negativity, but I want to kind of change the way that you guys look at this, okay? And I need you to be open-minded and hear me out. The reason we have all of these versions of Classic is because Classic, back in the day, it had content, but we play games at a much faster pace now. We have all the information. Everything's been figured out for the most part. There's some changes here and there that come, but for the most part, the content portion of these games is done. We know it. We just playing it to have fun. So it doesn't last as long. So what Blizzard has done, and I think it's genius, and I'm a fan of it, I think it's great, is give you all of these different versions to basically play as seasons, right? Think about it like this. Season of Discovery is coming to an end. Mists of Pandaria, if we looked at it as a new season, is about to start. When you're halfway through that season of Mists of Pandaria, you can then jump into the Burning Crusade season of WoW. Maybe by the time we get to the end of the Burning Crusade season, we'll be getting another season set in the vanilla universe with a different twist, like Season of Discovery or Season of Mastery. Or we'll maybe be getting a Classic Plus or something more permanent in the future. But right now, I want you guys to sit back and really realize that there is so much you can do with literally one $15 sub. All of this stuff that I mentioned, plus retail, you can access with one sub. You don't need to buy any of these versions of Classic to play them. You just download them. They're free with your sub. I'm not free, but you're paying a sub. You could just download them. You don't need to buy any game version or anything like that. So if you shift your mindset more into like, instead of trying to look for this permanent version of Classic that's trying to fill this endless void that you have where you need to be logged into Classic at all times and there's either not enough content or the economy's ruined by bots or people are boosting leveling and it sucks or people are just raid logging and that sucks. Play each version for its strengths and treat it as a season, right? I'm not a fan of seasonal WoW. I think what they've done here is brilliant and I play all of the new seasons, but I'm waiting for that more permanent version of World of Warcraft Classic, like a Classic Plus, something we can really dive into that we know is going to get updates for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years in the future. We could really progress these characters and invest the time and not see it go to waste. But at the end of the day, right now, this is what we have. And as a Classic player, you have all the options in the world. I think everyone's just been looking at it in the wrong way. Treat them as seasons. Because here's the thing, I wasn't excited for Mists of Pandaria Classic at all. Really, I was like, after Wrath of the Lich King, I really don't care. But I played Season of Discovery for the past, I don't know, 12 plus months, whatever it's been. I loved it. I had a blast. The only issue is that it's coming to an end. But guess what? I did Mists of Pandaria raids on the beta on Friday night. It feels like Season of Discovery. It really does. The classes feel like fast-paced like Season of Discovery. It feels fluid, faster than vanilla. Like Season of Discovery. And I was like, holy shit. This is basically like Season of Discovery, but we're just playing a different expansion. So I think everyone's minds are just way too closed off at the fact that there are so many versions of WoW. There's versions of WoW that fix the things that you complain about in vanilla. There's versions of WoW that break the things that you loved about vanilla. There's all of these different options. There's now an option for literally every single type of Classic player. So if you're bored at this point in time, maybe you just need to take a break. Maybe you're just burnt out on WoW. But if you do want to play WoW, I mean, I don't know how you could be bored at this point. There is so many different versions of WoW, or we're going to refer to them as seasons, right? If you've been playing SOD the entire time that it's been out, you're upset that it's coming to an end, or you're just raid logging, go give Mists of Pandaria a try when it drops, right? Get on Cataclysm right now, start prepping, level up a character, and when MOP drops, play it. I can almost guarantee you're going to enjoy it because it's very similar to Season of Discovery. Season of Discovery is way closer to Mists of Pandaria than any other version of Classic that's out currently. If you're someone who's been on Era since 2019 and you haven't branched out and done anything else, give the Fresh Anniversary Realms a try. The world is way more alive than on Era, right? It's not stuck in the last phase. You're in the ZG phase currently. You still have AQ coming. You still have Nax coming, and then you have TBC coming at the end of that. You know, if you're someone who's been stuck on Anniversary and you're getting bored of that, but you only want to play vanilla, go give yourself a challenge and try out Hardcore on Doomhell. The server's still very much alive. All the starting zones are littered with people because people are dying rapidly over and over again. They keep going again, right? There's so much. There's so much that you guys can be doing instead of being bored or burnt out, complaining about this version, mad at this version. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of that negativity comes from the fact that WoW's been around for so long. Everyone's so passionate about this game. There's so much love, but with all that love also comes a lot of hate and negative feelings as well. But look at it in a different way, right? Like, look at it as seasons. Look at it as different opportunities to play the game in a different way that maybe you didn't back in the day, or maybe you thought you didn't like me with Mists of Pandaria. But now that you played through Season of Discovery for 12 plus months, you're more open to that faster class play. You're more open to some raid mechanics and things like that. Give it a shot, right? There's all of these options for you guys to try out. I think that a lot of people put themselves in a box of like, I only play this version of World of Warcraft Classic, and this version sucks. This version sucks. And it comes down to like people are always like feeling like these, you know, subconsciously they feel like these other versions are stealing players from their version, like secretly killing their version of the game. But we don't really have to worry about that anymore. With Blizzard's new model, with how they do servers going forward, just a couple of servers and all these, the layering system works great and for the most part. You don't really need to worry about that anymore, you know? If you just try new things is what I'm getting at here. All of this stuff is available to you with your one sub. You don't need to buy Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria. You don't need to buy Season of Discovery. You don't need to buy Hardcore. You have access to all of this stuff with your subscriptions. And if you want to even go give retail a try, go do that. I'm not much of a retail player. I don't really enjoy it. But I do enjoy pretty much every version of Classic at this point. And I think if you guys like shifted the way you think about it, instead of different versions of WoW, think about it as different seasons, right? Because Season of Discovery, at least in the beginning, was extremely well received. And all they did in the beginning was cap your level at 25 and give you some TBC Wrath and Cataclysm and Mop spells, and you loved it because it was called World of Warcraft Season of Discovery and it was set in Azeroth. But at the end of the day, nothing about Season of Discovery is classic, classic era WoW. It's a completely different game at this point. They're not even close. Like I said, Season of Discovery is closer to like Wrath, Kata, Mop in terms of gameplay and how the game is designed. It's fully designed around endgame. You're not doing anything while leveling. There's no adventure. You could hit level 60 like literally instantly within a couple of days, right? And so that is what I'm trying to say. You got to think more about what you can do in all these other versions. Be more open-minded. Give stuff a try and stop looking for that permanent classic right now, because right now it's not here. The content isn't there. These versions of the game the content's already been figured out. It's already been done. That will come when we inevitably get a Classic Plus or a WoW 2, whatever it is. But for the meantime, enjoy this ride that we have right now. All these versions of Classic. Branch out of your comfort zone. Go try something new if you're burnt out or bored. If you're loving and enjoying what you're doing, ignore it. Who cares? But this video is more tailored towards the people who are having some negative feelings right now. The people who are a little bored with Classic. The people who don't know where to go from here. Or the people just jumping in right now for the first time. There's a lot to do, guys, and I've been seeing a lot of negativity in the community lately, and I really want to try and help people understand that we don't need to be negative like this, right? The good stuff is coming in the future, but right now we have some good stuff as well. I think you're just not giving it a chance, okay? Don't just sit there and be like, I only want to be playing level 60 WoW at this and this, but I'm mad about the economy. I'm mad about everyone just ranking to 14. I'm mad about this. I'm mad about that. Bro, there's versions of the game that fix that. Go play them. They're out right now. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're enjoying your time on Anniversary, then keep playing it. If you're enjoying your time on Cataclysm, then keep playing it. Move into Mists in the next 60 days, okay? If you're enjoying your time on Season of Discovery, keep playing it. But if you're upset about anything in these versions of the game, if you're bored, if you're feeling like you're a little bit burnt out, branch out, dude. Download another version of the game. The best way I can put it is SOD players, you're going to enjoy Kata going into Mop in the next 2 months the most. It's the most similar thing to Season of Discovery from my point of view. I played both. Very, very similar. For your Classic era players, go try Anniversary. Go give yourself a challenge and play hardcore. Okay? If you're waiting for the Burning Crusade and you're burnt out on Anniversary and you don't know what to do, go give Mop a try. Go give Hardcore a try. Go give Season of Discovery a try. It's still very much alive even though it's in its last phase. Go try some of the new content, the new class designs. It's all fun, man. At the end of the day, this stuff is fun. Okay? We're here to have fun. We're here to play this game because we all love it, right? And now there's so many versions of the game for you to enjoy. You gotta step outside that box and go try them. Enough with the negativity, enough with trashing this version. Oh, this version's true classic. This version's not true classic. None of this shit is true classic, okay? None of it. None of this is gonna ever be equivalent to 2004, 2005 classic WoW. Get that out of your head. It is not there. The closest thing we had to it was 2019 classic, but times are different. The internet exists and people play games different now. So get that out of your head and play for fun, and you will enjoy it so much more. You know, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not targeting anyone specifically. I'm just giving you the hard truth here. This is like some tough love shit. You know what I mean? You really need to chill with that. None of this is accurate to how it was back then because times are different. Blizzard did a great job at recreating these times, and we enjoy all of them. But you need to chill out and start playing for fun, bro. Literally, that's what you need to do, and I bet you will be so much happier every day that you log on to this game. But that's it. It's just a little rant today. I wanted to talk about all the different versions and what I think people need to do to try and enjoy this stuff more if they are feeling burnt out. So If I did help you at all, like the video, share it with someone else who needs some guidance here in the WoW Classic universe. Subscribe to the channel. Yo, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. We are making a stride for Twitch partner this year. The stream's been growing like crazy. I'll link it down in the description below or pin a comment. Go follow me on Twitch. We stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, subscribe to the channel if you love Classic WoW as much as me. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.